Welcome to Cultivate CFO. Employee or contractor? This is the story of how one client saved $30,000 in taxes with one phone call. In this video, I'd like to share with you 5 considerations for any W-2 employee who is considering 1099 contract work to save on taxes and to manage the complexities of opening a business. I want to share with you about a client call that I had the other day about a common question that I often receive. When given the choice, should I be a W-2 employee or a 1099 contractor? And the answer to this question saved him over $30,000 in taxes on only $200,000 in income. Our conversation went on for the better part of an hour as we discussed the pros and cons of each, but the right answer to this question was pretty obvious to him after just a few minutes. I've condensed the most valuable and relevant parts of this discussion so that you can make the best choice for your situation and, hopefully, save a good chunk on taxes. The first consideration is, what does the IRS say? My client and I discussed the legal classification for a W-2 employee versus a 1099 subcontractor and why sometimes you simply aren't given the choice. I've got a link in the associated article with the IRS Guidelines for more information, but you should also know that the Department of Labor has also just issued new guidance, which is under scrutiny in the courts right now. Their guidelines are a bit more stringent than in previous rulings, but it is still helpful to understand the differences here. The second consideration is whether you're going to be taxed on gross income or net income. It's critical to understand this difference. You see, W-2 employees earn wages, then pay taxes, and then pay their expenses with the money left over. Whereas 1099 contractors earn wages, pay the associated business expenses, and then pay tax on what is left over. The difference in timing and calculation of taxable income is the single greatest factor that results in 1099 contractors paying far less in taxes than their W-2 counterparts. Believe it or not, the savings aren't just for the individual, but also for the company paying that individual, as they are no longer on the hook for the employer taxes of 8 to 10% or more. And what this means for you is that you may end up being paid more because that company has more available to cover your cost. The third consideration are the availability of tax strategies. W-2 employees have very few tax strategies that they can take advantage of besides retirement contributions and tax-free health coverage, whereas 1099 contractors unlock hundreds of tax strategies, including deducting a variety of expenses and depreciation benefits, self-managed retirement, things like the Augusta rule, rental deductions, home office, travel, S corporation, self-employment tax savings, and the list goes on. The fourth consideration is complexity. W-2 employee is the simplest way to go, to be sure, but simple doesn't mean cheap. It is going to cost you in taxes. W-2 employees can usually file something simple with H&R Block or online with TurboTax, whereas a 1099 contractor is going to be a little more complicated. You have to at least start a business. You're going to have to learn about different tax filings and those options, learn how to manage your business finances, and learn about what you can and can't expense. And most likely you're going to need to hire a tax accountant to help with your personal and your business tax return filings. As with anything in life, you're going to get out of it what you invest in. The return on investment on this learning can be significant in the compound returns that you're going to receive every year. The final consideration for this decision is benefits. W-2 employees typically get benefits like health insurance, retirement, vacation, sick pay, etc., whereas 1099 contractors get benefits like autonomy and flexibility, the ability to work with multiple clients, and self-managed retirement and those types of things. The end result for my client was savings of roughly $30,000 more in his pocket on $200,000 in income by becoming a 1099 contractor rather than a W-2 employee. I've had many similar conversations over the years, and I've had clients choose both options based on what best suited them. So what do you think? Have you made this choice? How did this turn out for you? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.